Buckle up, folks. This podcast is all about diving into the good, the bad, and the ugly of our bodily, spiritual, and mental experiences. If you are not prepared to challenge your assumptions, laugh at yourself, laugh at me, or maybe even shed a tear or two, then you might want to look elsewhere. But if you're ready to get real, get honest, and get a little weird, then welcome to the Just Chrissy podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy McCammon. Hello, friends. Welcome back again to the Just Chrissy podcast. I'm Chrissy, your host. I feel like I've grown in this podcasting arena. It's not something I had ever done before, not something I had ever considered. There was quite a bit to learn, but hopefully these are getting better as we go. Gathering the information and trying to share that in a way that makes sense is what I'm trying to do here. Today I want to talk about something super important. We have done a lot of talking about, like, in general, taking care of the body. And I did mention within the last couple of days that, I truly believe you have to have a balance between the body, the spirit, and the mind. And so I am going to dedicate a little bit more. We're talking a lot about the body because it's just so important to take care of your temple. But today we're going to talk about seed oils. What are seed oils? What do they do? Of course, again, surface level, because we only have 15 minutes. What should you use instead of seed oils? Because I've realized that, like, people are confused because they'll be like, oh, isn't olive a seed oil? And so I do want to give you a little bit of information on it. If there's one thing that you can do without a shadow of a doubt, it's get these out of your diet. The prominent issue is the source, or the most prominent source of calories now in the United States, or in the American diet, is seed oil. It's in everything. We were at the grocery store the other day. All I wanted was a salad dressing, because I make a lot of my own salad dressings, but I don't know why I needed something quick. Oh, we were in Indiana, and I was like, I'll just get something quick. We could not find one salad dressing, even what supposedly would be the good ones, that did not contain canola oil. If you want to get really grossed out, go to YouTube. You got your pen and paper? Go to YouTube and look up how they produce canola oil. It's disgusting. You have to check the labels. It's in all the salad dressings. It's in all the processed foods. It's in mayonnaise. Like, I make my own mayonnaise because I just, anything processed basically has a seed oil in it. And how did these come about? How did these seed oils come about? Well, do you remember Mr. Rockefeller? Do you remember what his main industry was? Petroleum. Well, in the wake of Mr. Rockefeller's work of oil refining, they needed to find something to do with some of the byproducts of the petroleum production. Now, we know that pharmaceuticals was one of the ways that they did that. But anyway, basically, we're eating engine lubricant. You'll know what I mean when you go look at how you create canola oil. They have a lot of omega-6 with fats in them, which are pro-inflammatory, or they create a lot of inflammation in your body. They get incorporated very rapidly into your cell membranes, and it affects how your cells function. They outcompete the healthier fats for the places in the cell membrane. So it actually changes the structural integrity of your body. So I want you to picture an oval shape and just pretend like that's your cell. That outside, what would be the shell? Say, let's take an egg and pretend like it's a cell. That shell on the outside would be like your cell membrane. And you want a nice, healthy, lipidy or fat cell wall that's not full of inflammation, that can absorb things. So like omega-3s that we talked about, that and healthy fats, that's what creates that. So the seed oils actually change the structural integrity of your body. They have absolutely no nutritional value whatsoever. So please, if you want to really get serious about not having these in your diet, please go Google or YouTube how canola oil is made. What makes this even harder to get rid of is that it's a taxpayer covered commodity. So these crops are covered in glyphosate, which is a hormone disruptor. And we have already talked about the hormone disruption in the girls. Like, they used to not start their menstrual cycles till they were 15 or 16, and now it's getting younger and younger. And guess what? In the United States, it's worse. They've also seen an increase in cancer and all kinds of health issues. So we have to get these seed oils out of our diet. So what do you do? What do you do instead? Just understand that your cells are getting congested. And when your body goes to make new cells from the old cell, it's using that rancid cell to make that. So you need to be really careful. All right. They also lead to weight gain. Of course, we know inflammation is weight gain, right? So I was, Ken Berry, he's a doctor on YouTube. You can find him pretty easily. I think he's an advocate for the carnivore diet. I'm not an advocate for the carnivore diet, but like, I'm an advocate for you do your research and figure out what works for you. Anyway, he was talking about, like, he does best, better, okay. So starting with the best. Now listen, if you're like, I don't do animals, like, that's fine. Like, you do you. I'm just giving the information. The best fats, real butter, lard, coconut oil, avocado oil. You also could use ghee, which is clarified butter, tallow. I'm just looking to make sure I didn't miss any of them here. So let's do the saturated fats. The saturated fats, the best ones are the butter, the lard, the coconut oil, the avocado oil. These saturated fats are good for the body and the brain. Listen, Dr. Ken Berry says there are studies that show that this does not raise your cholesterol. Like, they lied to us. We've had the conversation about cholesterol. The average human body makes 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol every day. Now, if you eat 10, 30, 40, or 50 milligrams of cholesterol versus the body makes 3,000, that just seems kind of silly, doesn't it? And there are studies now, according to Dr. Berry, that prove this to be false. I didn't go look him up, but I do trust him. I do follow him. The next ones down, the better, are the unsaturated fatty acids. And that would be like your extra virgin olive oil, your macadamia nut oil, and avocado also fits into this one. It's kind of a blend between them. Macadamia nut oil. You can cook with these, and they do feed the body cell membrane, the brain tissue, and the nerves, because you have like a myelin sheath over the ends of your nerves, and that is a lot of people are having issues because they don't have enough good fats in their diet. And then those were monounsaturated fatty acids. And then you have the polyunsaturated, which would be like walnut seed oil. So I find this very fascinating. So what you have to understand is these seed oils, when they're exposed to light and heat, they start to break down. So when you go watch the process of how they get these oils out, they're using heat. So they're heating them up, and they go rancid, and as they go in the body, become more rancid. So some that you want to avoid is safflower, soybean, cottonseed, and sunflower. But if you this next set, if you have these in your cupboard and you're using them, you need to get them out These are like immediately throw away. Don't even think about it. Don't use them up and then replace them. They need thrown away. Canola oil, Crisco, margarine, and vegetable oil. When these go into your system, your cells are getting congested. So also, like when cooking, you need to know like which ones are the better ones to do. So olive oil is great for salads and light heat. And I want to say, I think the flash point on it's like 325, where avocado oil can it can go with a higher heat. If it says extra virgin, that means they did not heat it up and damage the oil. If it comes in a dark container, that's a great sign because they're keeping the light out of the oil. Look for oils that say 100% sourced. That means if it says like 100% sourced from California, that means all the oil came from California. You can trace it back to its original source. If it's not, like if it doesn't say 100% source, what that means is it can be coming from all different places, and it's really hard to like trace it back to where it came from, what the actual quality of that product was coming in. It's just easier to control the quality of it. And then if you can get it where it says non-GMO organic on the bottle, just know too, like these labels cost a lot of money. Like there's a lot of testing that goes in. So if you can get the non-GMO organic, it's even better. One of the best oils that I think, even like using essential oil wise, I have learned like I like, if I have olive oil, I will use that with essential oils. However, it's better to use the coconut oil because it doesn't go bad, which has it's like this whole science about the bonds in the oils, but I'm not going to go into that because we don't have time. But the coconut oil, get the organic, get the unrefined. Unrefined means it was minimally processed. Coconut oil doesn't go bad with light, and it handles heat really well. And then, of course, the ghee, Ghee, that's just clarified butter. It's really good. You can get it at Aldi's, but it stays more stable than butter. So all that to say, basically, my main sources are olive oil, avocado oil. We use tallow a lot. I actually even use tallow for my skin. I make my own lotions and that sort of thing. We do use ghee. I'm just looking here for the rest of these. They're all pretty easy to find. Yeah, and then just stay away from the seed oils, which are like safflower, soybean, cottonseed, sunflower. Definitely pitch right now. Canola oil, Crisco, margarine, vegetable oil, and then if you want extra information, extra homework, go and look up the process of how canola oil is made. You will never want to put that in your body again. All right, so your homework is go clean out your cabinets and get the good oils in there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go clean out.